The military government in Niger has arrested a non-diplomat elected official of a French citizen. On another breaking news, also, Niger has cut military ties with Benin. So those are our two breaking news related to Niger. Hello, I am Mahlet Ayele, your host at Connect Africa. So yeah, let's look at it one by one. First, the Niger military government has arrested an elected official of a French citizen. Now, what does that mean, this elected official? This person is not, let me try to show you. This is Stephen Julian, who is not a diplomat, but who was apparently in Niger, as the French ministry has said it on their Twitter, formerly Twitter, now the platform is called X. They say that he's an elected official. It means a public servant, a public servant who works for a French government. So they have now, the French ministry has went on a social media platform, and they have demanded for the immediate release of this man. Now, Niger's neither Niger nor the French government has said why this man has been arrested. It's something that a story that is developing, and then we will see what there is. I'm sure there is a reason behind it. First of all, if he's not a diplomat, the first question that comes is, within the first week, when the coup happened, a number of European countries have, I mean, all foreign countries have, except for the Africa, like Canada, the US, including France and others, Italy, have withdrawn, evacuated their citizens from Niger. Now, if this person is not a non-diplomat, if he's not a diplomat, then what he's doing? That is the question. Now, let's see what their own media has said. Let me just allow me to share this with you. I'm going to read what they have written on their X platform, or formerly known as on Twitter. Okay, just a second. Yeah, let's see what they said. Now, this is what the French Ministry Foreign Affairs said. France Foreign Ministry said, as you can see it, on Tuesday, September 12th, that a French official has been arrested in military-run Niger. Mind you, now there is a slight of words are changing. They used to say coup leaders, coupists. I mean, now military-run Niger. In any case, I mean, French is still, the French government has continued to be arrogant, and it continues, and called for the junta to immediately release him. Now, the ministry said on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, that Stephen Julian, counselor of French citizens abroad. Now, this is the title they are putting for this man. Is this something, I mean, if he's a counselor, then he should be a diplomat. Is it something that they came up now when this man is arrested, or was he really holding that title, counselor of French citizen? Then he should be working for the embassy. And then if he's working for the embassy, this person should be a diplomat. In any case, as you have seen, as you have been following the case of Niger, and as we have been reporting to you almost on a daily basis, we have said the Niger government has followed a number of actions that are in line with the international law. And one of it is that the Niger government, the military, the revolutionary government, has revoked the immunity of the diplomats when they demanded for the for the ambassador of France to leave the country. They have revoked the immunity. So whether that really involves, they said it's the ambassadors and the family. Perhaps they have revoked all of them. But the first question that comes is that if he's really having that French citizens counselor, then why he's not a diplomat? Yeah, it's a question that needs to be answered. So if he's not a diplomat, then all the citizens, whether working for the government or working for private companies, have been evacuated by the French government within a week after the coup. Then what is he doing there? Spying? I don't know. I mean, I'll just leave the answer to you, but something is not adding here. Okay. Now, the second news is that the Niger government or the military government has cut ties, military ties, particularly with Benin. So the reason that they gave is the spokesperson General Abdurrahman, came on the national television of Niger and said that Benin has authorized the deployment of French troops in Benin. Now, if you remember, the last time we came here at Connect Africa and we updated you about what's happening in Niger, is that when the military government of Niger has accused France of deploying more troops in the neighboring ECOWAS member states, okay? And they even haven't said name. Now, it seems that all out and public, they are calling names. That is, the first one is Benin. So they have cut military ties. And then there are also other certain ECOWAS member states. When now the news, when we see that now more French troops in those countries, they might continue to tell us the names. But we have mentioned to you, these are those countries in ECOWAS. When ECOWAS decided to attack Niger, to intervene militarily in Niger, there are 4 countries that came in front within ECOWAS and said they will contribute troops. These are Nigeria, Benin, Senegal, and Togo. Okay, these are the 4 countries. So now one of them, it's Benin, that they have cut military ties. What does this mean? Meaning, basically military ties between 2 countries. It means that these nations or these governments have agreed to defend any invader or that comes to attack either of these countries. And now that has been broken, as Benin has decided to act otherwise by having the deployment of French troops, which is in preparation to attack Niger or to militarily intervene in Niger. France has continued in its arrogance, saying that its ambassador will not leave, its troops will not leave. I mean, is Niger, can anybody say, is Niger a sovereign state? I mean, it's in question. I don't know to what extent these heads of states who are serving as an errand boy of the previous colonial powers are agreeing with their previous colonial powers. I mean, to what extent are they selling the country? Right now, it looks like Niger is owned by France. Okay, I mean, the way they are acting, and they are not giving up. But ever since this coup happened or this revolution happened, the government has continued to cut ties with French step by step. They have cut, they said they no longer are abide by those military government, by those military pacts, like 5 military pacts that they had with France. France had that with its previous colonies of 14 African countries, Western African countries, and Burkina Faso has cut it, Mali has cut it, now Niger also has cut it. But the French government is acting that totally ignorant and also arrogant to what's happening in Niger, continuing saying that they do not recognize the military government. All they recognize is the ones ousted President Bazoum, and they are even bowing, reiterating to reinstate Mohamed Bazoum again, which is really something out of off the table for the current government of Niger. Now, one may ask, let me just, before going and analyzing why France or the French government, I wouldn't say France because that will also include the people, and usually it's a matter of the political system of states. Otherwise, it really does not. I'm sure there are a lot of French people that will be against how the French government is acting in the Western Africa or within its former colonies in Africa, the continued exploitation. I'm sure there are French people who have senses and who are against it. But now let's go and hear what the spokesperson of the Niger government said when they broke the news that they have cut military ties with Benin. Okay. Let's hear this together, and we will come back. Listen.
Le Conseil national pour la sauvegarde de la patrie et le gouvernement du Niger rappellent le lien ancestral qui lie le peuple du Niger.
There are captions for those of you who do not speak French or who don't understand. There are captions in English.
Au peuple frère du Bénin, avec lequel nous avons les mêmes populations et les intérêts communs. Ce lien devenu institutionnel a facilité la signature d'un accord de coopération militaire entre nos deux pays. Toutefois, ce pays, face à la situation sécuritaire, politique et économique, a décidé d'envisager une agression contre le Niger au lieu de le soutenir. En effet, la République du Bénin a autorisé le stationnement de militaires mercenaires et matériel de guerre dans la perspective d'une agression voulue par la France en collaboration avec certains pays de la CEDEAO contre notre pays.
Now, you all have heard it. So as he said, just to summarize it, they have that military agreement in which that includes to defend their countries against invaders. But Benin has decided otherwise, although Niger is facing a challenge of security, political and economic one, but Benin has gone on its own and decided to act otherwise, regardless of their military agreement. Now, what the reports that are coming out also say that Niger has sent its troops in preparation to defend itself by their border, between the border of Niger and Benin, because now the French troops are there, and I don't think that the French troops all by itself will fight the Nigerian military. I think they're gonna use, this is what they have been using, proxy wars. They might be there, some of them, but backing maybe the Benin military, the military in Benin, or the ECOWAS in general. So they will use the lives of Africans. What you have to know is, and what this spokesperson, one important thing that he said is that we have the same population among us, the tribes that live in both countries. There is Fulani and then the Dendi people. These are the people that live both in Niger and look, these are Fulanis. These people, they are both based in Niger, in Benin, in Mali, in Nigeria. You can find them. It is the same people, same population, same tribes, same religion. but now, just like what they are doing or what they have been doing before, they are going to turn brothers against brothers or sisters against sisters. This is exactly what they are doing. And it's really sad and unfortunate for the Benin government to really accept this and to be a collaborator of the French government, and even allow to have those troops in times of such a tension. It's sad. As much as we blame the French government, it's also the blame also lies within our heads of states who are acting completely dumb and just like they're selling out their people for their just to stay in power, because Patrice his first, Patrice Talon, yeah, that is the name of the president, because he's afraid of also the same revolution will happen in his country and he will be thrown. He's a person who amended the constitution and that he wants to stay now in power. Now he's turning people against people. And also, if you remember, there were elders when this started, when ECOWAS has decided to use to militarily intervene in Niger. There were elders. Elders were involved, both from Nigeria, the northern part of Nigeria, which is a border with Niger, and then also in Benin, because these elders, they know that brothers against brothers are going to fight. So they don't want the same people to fight. So they went to their governments. For example, in the case of Nigeria, the governors in the northern part have went, these are our brothers, these are our people, they are there trading, they are there living, they come, we visit each other, we are the same people. So how do you decide to have war now, to militarily intervene, which eventually and also the Senate of Nigeria has advised so to the president, and they are delaying it. They know what's going to happen. They know the consequence, what it will be. Their own people will be against them. And then the same thing happened. The elders in Benin have gone to Patrice Talon and they have asked him, how do you agree to contribute force to militarily intervene in Niger? Because these are the same people, the same tribes are living in both. They all are, they share borders. It's thanks to colonization with their divide and rule. Some of them, it has big country, as the cases in the number of African countries. They divide you, they put border, and then people, tribes divided, and then it become a different country. Now the same thing is continuing, and sadly we are allying them. Our heads of states are doing the same just to defend the powers within the elite group. You sell the lives of millions of the people. I mean, this is really unfortunate. Now I just want to reflect why France is acting the way it's acting, why it is so desperate. They know that they are not wanted in Niger. Why you have to stay in a place that you are told to leave the country? You have no legal basis at all to be in the country, and you still continue with your arrogance. You have seen how President Macron is speaking publicly. He even said we militarily intervene if we are asked by this ousted president of Niger. That is how, as far as the arrogance, but also he's hinting a military intervention in Niger. That's a hint. That's why last time when I came here and I updated you, maybe the key lies now, the solution lies with this ousted president. Maybe he should resign. Then France has no legal basis to say anything, I mean, the man is not legal anymore, the president, but just to solve things peacefully. Now, let me just give you reasons. First of all, why France is acting in such a way is that for France, to leave Western African countries, including Niger, it's a matter of survival. You know, it's one, their former president, it was Jacques Chirac, I think, who said France, without those Western African countries, it will be directly thrown the so-called developing nation or third world country, because it has nothing. It's based on its survival, based on the African countries. But after a decade, or I don't know, 2 decades now, Macron, the same president, not the same president, but still president of France, came out and told us just 10 days ago or 2 weeks ago in his foreign policy speech to its diplomats. What did he say? Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger are nothing without France. I think they think that we African people are dumb, that we don't observe nothing. And we observe, maybe we don't understand, that we are not nothing. That's how they see us. We do know how France survive, on what France's survival is based on. People know. It's just that you are provoking them more now, really, to act. That's what he told us. But of course, it's totally the opposite. It's totally the opposite. Number one, we all know that now how this energy issue is a hot issue. There, you know, countries are shifting from oil to an alternative energy. Speaking of that, in 2022, a year ago, there was a deal that was signed between Nigeria, Niger, and Algeria. A big trans-Saharan gas link, you know, where Nigeria is going to sell its gas for a cheaper amount. Of course, otherwise they wouldn't turn. France would not turn to Africa. When they want low price, they come to us. So Nigeria is going to sell this gas to Europe. I mean, mainly to France and to other European nations. This came effective because these Western countries now have cut their ties with Russia because of the Ukraine-Russia war, and they have even blown that gas pipeline. You know, these are the so-called countries that so much preach about climate change, but they have blown that gas pipeline. Now they are looking for other markets, and then of course, where do they find that? With a cheaper price in Africa. So Nigeria, starting from Nigeria, this is a map that shows you it will go to Niger and then to Algeria, and then it will, after Algeria, which is at the very northern, the northern part of Africa, and then it goes to Europe. So this is the main thing. With all what's happening, the revolution now in Niger, this thing is dead. Okay, this is not going to happen. So this is one of the things that makes France very, very desperate because of its energy. And also there is the national reserve, the money that these countries, these Western African countries, that they reserve in France, apparently, which is injecting, which is holding, not injecting, which is holding much of the French economy from the money from the national reserve that comes from these countries. Now, so many things are going to be cut. And they don't want that because it's a matter of survival. And also there is electricity, speaking of energy. There is uranium, there is lithium, there is cobalt. There is this electric car industrialization coming. From where they're going to get their source, you think? It's all from Africa, from Congo, from these Western African countries. Uranium, we have so many times we have talked about it. So these are the things that make France very, very desperate. But of course, the market could have continued if French start to see its former colonies in Africa as an equal partner. But they don't want that. You know, they still want to exploit and set the market price that they want, very cheaper than from any other part of the world. This is what they want. Otherwise, if if they see that these countries as an equal partner, then in a normal way trade could have happened, or maybe they will start now. Niger wants to develop. It wants to be the owner of the resources that is located under their feet. Okay, these resources are under their feet. It's within their sovereign territory. Yeah, so these are the things that make France. So this is the pipeline. Okay, this is this the trans-Saharan pipeline, gas pipeline. This is one of the it's not the only one, but one of the major things. But of course, there are a lot of other things that they take, that they depend, particularly France, on this former colonies of France. But still, that's the countries are independent, but that's only, of course, in paper. Now, let me just end there regarding the breaking news that's coming out from Niger. And but before I conclude, really, I would like to ask you, how do you advise Niger to approach this thing? Surrounded by all these tensions, by its neighboring countries collaborating with France, and then also, how do you advise, if you have to advise France? I mean, there should be a way out peacefully, without no African people dying, without making a price with people's lives again, without making another African country like Libya, without distracting. It's the second poorest country in the world. These people want to develop. What is wrong with that? You want them to continue to be poor and exploit their resources. And that's not acceptable. As simple as that. And the people are saying no. Yeah. So just comment, share us your view with us in the comments section. How do you advise the Niger military government, or France, what to do? What should be the approach? Thank you very much for tuning in. I will see you on the next one. And please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the video. Yeah, thank you. And greetings to everyone who have tuned here. Thank you, really. France cannot protect you from what's coming to you. Just keep that in mind. This message is for those ECOWAS countries. Yeah, so thank you very much. With that, bye-bye.